SNUtils Slashcommands allow you to quickly navigate through your instance and outside of it, and also execute other useful SNUtils functions. I will go through some of the built-in commands, how you can manage your own and what settings you can adjust, and I'll close off with some advanced tips and tricks. So here I am in an instance, and let's just start with a simple command /me. I am getting the examples of the available command with the explanation. /me open my user profile. So that's what it does. It's a very quick way to navigate to your own user profile. And when I'm here, I can execute a new command by, for example, /tn, show technical command names. This is a function long time available in SNUtils, and it gives a lot more insights for developer at what is going on in the form. So I have other places where I elaborate on this, but you can trigger it from SNUtil/command as well. Next command to show /fd, open flow designer, and in this case it will open up in a flow designer, as it doesn't make sense to open this in the iframe of the UI 16. Last one for now here is /tweets. This is highly recommended to check out every once in a while, or to follow me on Twitter. All the new enhancements and little things I add or change, I am tweeting about. So if you would like to keep up on everything related to SNUtils, follow this one. So now let's go to the tab /commands in the pop-up of the browser. And here you see listed all the available commands. So in this example, I have 2 customized commands, a bunch of built-in, and below are scripted commands. You cannot override these. They execute some function. So I showed you the technical names, so you cannot override these ones. But for example, here I have one that I did customize, /docs NI. Normally I always stick to the newest release. So when you search docs, it will always search the newest release, in the current case Orlando. But here I have created my own command to force to New York. And you can say I just gonna use the out-of-box one, G Suite, docs G Suite. Here you see that with the normal docs command, I'm searching the Orlando release. Would I do the same with docs NI, I would only search in the New York documentation. Another one that might be useful that I have customized, here is a command item, and what I'm doing here, I'm calling /env add item demo. So the /env is a slash command itself. Here you see it, open this page in instance. So it executes, it's a shortcut for an existing command. So let's try it, /item. And note that it opens the same page in another instance with this command. A few other coded commands is, for example, pop, and what that does, it gets you out of the UI 16 frame, and if I run it again while I'm out of it, it gets me back in it. /code is a built-in code search in SNUtils, so when I search for my own name, it searches the code in the instance for where my name is put in. So the next one I would like to show is when you have a table where you do not have a command for in place. For example, I'm searching for some sort of a system log table. I start off with the name and then I hit the right arrow key, and this will search tables that match. So, and then I can navigate with the keyboard arrow down key or up key to the right table. So if I would have like the transaction table, I put in a space and I would say CT. That is an option I can add to every table. CT, and maybe I would like to have filter only. Hit enter. So what this does, it fills in the created on today filter, and it does not actually run the code, but it shows the filter only. So I could adjust here. In just this case, I just click run and it executes the command. Let's say I have a scenario where I do not know the exact name of the table, but I only know that it contains, for example, computer. Then I include asterisk or a wildcard. And then when I click the arrow right key, then it will search tables for tables that contain the searched for term. So this seems right, the first match. When I hit space, I could add again some filters or just hit enter to open the complete list. And let's have another look at the pop-up. Filter ACL is a special one as well. When you want to create your own, the $0 is the complete search term. So if I have 3 words, then $0 is all those 3 words. $1 is the first word, $2 second, and so on. So let's try it with the ACL one, /ACL, and then incident, and second word read. And I could also include my options here, but let's hit enter. And you see that it has searched the ACLs for name contains incident, operation contains read. So as you can see, it's really easy to quickly navigate around the instance, and it works across the pages. So whether you are in Flow Designer, in Studio, from everywhere you can trigger the slash commands. Next thing is by default this type of, when I type for example BR, by default this will open up inside the list. If I would like to open it in a new tab, I hit Command or Control depending on Mac or Windows, and it will open up in a new tab. That works also for example /BR. Normally, or sorry, says ST, that's a shortcut to Studio. Normally this would open up in a new tab, but when I type in Control Shift Enter or Command Shift Enter, it will force it to open that in the current window. Start is just a new tab. So these are basically what you can do with it. Let's explore a few more advanced commands. So when I have a sys, here I have a BR, and when I say copy sysid, and I go back to my instance, when I hit slash, and I paste in that sysid and I hit enter, it will do a search for that sysid and it will open, in this case, the BR that has matched. So that's one of the advanced things you can do. Another one is when you have .do in the page and you type enter, you also have a direct navigation to that page. And maybe sometimes when you have, for example, something you don't exactly know, XML size, I don't know the exact name of the table, and you hit enter. When you hit the not found page, it will try to do a smart lookup of the table you might be looking for, and by default it will look for starts with, but you can also do a contains of all the parts divided by underscores. So when I click on that, I have the table I'm looking for. I'm looking for the sys update XML. So the not found page is also a bit enhanced by SN Utils. The last thing I would like to explore is the settings tab. Here you can change the behavior. By default, it's always just acting on when a slash is typed in, only not when an input or a text area is selected. You can change this behavior to trigger slash commands by hitting Control slash or Command slash on Mac, or you can set it completely off, and then you can assign a shortcut still in the browser shortcuts or in the extension shortcuts. Another advanced thing is when you double click on the slash commands, your custom commands are stored as a JSON object. And when you want to share it with someone else, you can double click the read only field here and copy it and paste it. So if you would copy this and send this to a colleague and he would paste it, then he would have your custom slash commands as well. In the slash pop-up theme, you can select either dark, light, or stealth. In this case, you see the dark one. The light and stealth I will show you in another tab. So here you see the light one, the light style. And I also have stealth over here. So it's hardly visible, but when I do the slash me enter, it will trigger that command. So these are the basics. It is a bit ad hoc, so a bit unstructured maybe, but I hope this can all benefit you. And if you have some nice use cases or good custom slash commands, please share them in the comments. Thank you and see you next time.